Good morning. So thank you all for being here today. Again, as Tim Minton mentioned, I'm Shanifa Riera, Acting Chief Customer Officer for the MTA, and I'm here with my colleague, Chief Accessibility Officer, Carmelo Arroyo. We are also here and joined by Commissioner Manuel Castro, Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs, as well as First Deputy Commissioner Jill Berry, New York City Department of Social Services. So today we are taking the next step to expand access to reduced fare, omni, and accessorized services. Riders now, for the first time, have the ability to use IDNYC as a valid form of ID to access and use these services. Yes, Danny. And for paratransit customers who use our service every day, they now also have an opportunity to use ID NYC as an acceptable form of identification. So that is another great win for MTA and ID NYC. This idea was put forth by our Blue Ribbon Commission panel that looked at fare evasion. This was one of many recommendations, and it was sort of a non-brainer that we thought which would make sense because ID NYC is widely accessible throughout the city of New York, especially used widely by residents who comes from lower income communities. So again, that was a no-brainer, and changing this would help and provide these constituencies with access to these much needed critical services. So with that, I'll turn it over to Carmelo Arroyo to expand a little further. Q.
Thank you so much for that, Shanifa. Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here with you all celebrating this shift in our policies and our program, and very fitting that we are here at Immigrants Plaza. So my job as the Chief Accessibility Officer spans way broader than elevators and escalators, ramps throughout our system. It really also includes creating access for all of our riders or in potential riders, expanding the definition of that access, and that's what we're announcing here today. This expansion of the utilization of ID NYC in our system as a valid form of ID will increase the number of reduced fare customers and paratransit riders. Just to put it into perspective, we have over 1.4 million reduced fare customers, and that's made up of both our aging New Yorkers over the age of 65, and New Yorkers with qualifying disabilities. On the paratransit side, we have about 160,000 users of that system, registered users of that system. So I know, as a person with a disability, how critical that service is for so many New Yorkers. Today we're telling our immigrant communities, our new New Yorkers, and all New Yorkers that they belong in our system. No matter your racial background, no matter your immigration status, an ID NYC will now allow you access to two of our most critical programs. $1.35 is the cost for persons in reduced fare. And I know that is a game changer for many families who have to choose between paying the fare and buying food. Well, we're gonna make that easier for you, and we want you all to apply for your reduced fares for those who qualify, and paratransit for those people with disabilities who need some assistance getting throughout our system who cannot use mass transit. These are great operations, great services, and today we're telling you that you're all welcome. So I hope people will join. Apply for Access Ride online. Reserve your visit to an assessment center by calling us, going online, or you can apply for reduced fare by coming to Three Stone, going to our newly formed customer service centers throughout the 5 boroughs. You can do it online and at our mobile vans, one of which is right at the corner over there. So thank you all. It is really a pleasure to be here. Say a couple of words in Spanish, if that's okay. Buenos días, es un placer para mí estar aquí con todos ustedes, con nuestros colegas en la ciudad, para este nuevo anuncio del uso del ID NYC en la MTA. La MTA maneja 2 programas súper importantes, el programa de paratransit, que mueve personas con discapacidad en la ciudad. Hacemos un promedio de 30,000 viajes diarios, y el programa de Reduced Fare, tarifas reducidas, las cuales le puede acceder acceso a tarifas por $1.35, la mitad del costo para usar el sistema de tránsito público. Comenzando hoy, el ID NYC se podrá usar como una forma de identificación para aplicar para ambos programas. Estos programas son excelente. Tenemos más de 1.4 millones de neoyorquinos, que es parte del programa de tarifas reducidas, y el programa de paratransit con más de 160 usuarios. Ahora cualquier inmigrante, cualquier persona nueva en Nueva York puede usar eso, se puede aplicar para esos programas con su IDNYC, con esa identificación que da la ciudad para todos los neoyorquinos, incluyendo inmigrantes. Así que no importa tu background, de dónde vengan, su estatus inmigrante, si tienen el ID pueden cualificar para nuestro sistema, nuestros programas. Y para mí es un placer expandir el acceso a esos programas para todos los neoyorquinos. Muchas gracias y ahora presentamos a Manuel Castro, nuestro comisionado de Immigrant Affairs.
Thank you so much. Welcome to Immigrant Heritage Plaza. Let's hear it. This is exactly how we envision Immigrant Heritage Plaza to be used when we announced the change and the creation of this plaza as a plaza to be used for our communities, to be used to announce great initiatives such as these. So I'm very proud to be here with my colleagues in city government, with MTA, with community members, and of course, members of our press to announce that New York City, New York State is taking even more steps to make sure that these programs for New Yorkers are becoming even more accessible. And this time, in partnership with IDNYC, such a critical tool for our immigrant communities. As many of you know, over 70,000 asylum seekers have arrived in our city seeking refuge in the last year. This program will make it even more accessible for them to be able to navigate our city, to continue to look for work, to continue to look for housing, and settle in our city. And I can't say enough how important it is for New Yorkers to be welcoming to asylum seekers who have been through so much, and to all immigrant communities who choose to make New York City their home. And this program, which makes New York City transit more affordable and more accessible, will go a long way to do exactly that. So again, I'm very proud to be here with all my colleagues, with the MTA, with IDNYC, all these beautiful colors here, representing organizations, IDNYC, and community groups who will help us make sure that immigrant communities know about this program. And again, on behalf of Mayor Eric Adams, on behalf of our administration, we're so proud to be able to do this on behalf of the city of New York. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you again, Commissioner Castro. Next, I would like to invite up Jill Berry, First Deputy Commissioner at the Department of Social Services. Jill.
Good morning, everybody. At the Department of Social Services, we are proud to oversee the IDNYC program, the largest and most successful municipal ID program in the country. I'm so excited to join our friends at MTA as we continue to build on the partnership and celebrate collaborative solutions to strengthen access to our programs and enhance the delivery of services for low-income communities. This common sense step will help further strengthen and expand access to the MTA's reduced fare program, especially for some of our most vulnerable New Yorkers who are also IDNYC cardholders. At the same time, this will expand the utility of our IDNYC program, especially for vulnerable seniors and individuals with disabilities. We are committed to ensuring that all New Yorkers have equal access to the vital resources and services our great city and state have to offer. Public transportation is a lifeline for everyday New Yorkers, and a government-issued photo ID is absolutely critical for accessing vital benefits and social services. The IDNYC program provides all New Yorkers, regardless of background or immigration status, with a broadly accepted government ID. Since the launch of the program, more than 1.5 million New Yorkers have enrolled in IDNYC, and I'm very happy that we have a number of our team members standing behind us, ready to help enroll anybody in the IDNYC program. And as a result of our outreach efforts, the outreach efforts of the team members behind us to strengthen and expand accessibility to IDNYC last year, we saw a nearly 100% increase in new IDNYC enrollments year over year. We are also proud of what we have been able to achieve partnering with the MTA on our incredible Fair Fares program, which provides eligible low-income New Yorkers with discounted Metro cards, giving them the opportunity to access the subways, eligible buses, and Accessoride paratransit at half the price. Today, more than 250,000 New Yorkers are using Fair IDNYC cardholders will now reduced fare program, further expanding access for low-income New Yorkers in need of commuter discounts or benefits. We look forward to building on this partnership as we continue to tap in to the unmatched reach of our IDNYC program and the New York City subway system. We're so grateful to our partners at the MTA for working with us to make this happen. Thank you.
For Commissioner Castro, you mentioned the asylum seekers. So is the idea that your office or some of the other outreach would help the asylum seekers get the IDNYC, then that would assist them getting to a job once they presumably have the permission from the federal government to do that? We know the president made some part of the population eligible to do that. Can you give us a sense of how many of the asylum seekers might be able to utilize this to take mass transit to go to work?
Well, many thousands of asylum seekers have already obtained their IDNYC. They have access to register to IDNYC at our Asylum Seeker Navigation Center in Midtown Manhattan at the Red Cross building on 51st Street, right? They can show up and register with IDNYC there, and many of them have been receiving their cards already. They will be able to use the many benefits that they have access to through this IDNYC, including the benefits that are announced today. And so again, we have welcomed over 70,000 asylum seekers. That number is likely higher. We know many of them have come here and settled with their own friends and family members. And so we're glad to be able to make this even more accessible, these programs, these reduced fare programs to them, because I know that the cost of living in New York City is incredibly high. This will go a long way for them to have a little more money in their pockets to be able to settle here in New York City. And those who are staying in our shelter system will be able to navigate near the transit system to get to different neighborhoods where perhaps they're looking to settle, look for work. Again, I mentioned many of them are looking for work. This will help them, get to, different destinations that, are critical for them to be able to find those resources and work. But again, we're looking, I always take a chance when I'm in front of press, we're looking for the federal government to do more. Again, expediting those work permits sooner is critical, and making sure asylum seekers have status and a way for them to settle in New York and in the country is very critical. And so we're looking forward to hearing more from the federal government soon. Thank you.
I'll just add one more thing. I just want to add one clarifying point on that question. The change that we're announcing today is expanding the identification that MTA accepts for all of our applications. The applications remain the same. The qualifications remain the same for all three programs: Fair Fare, Reduced Fare, Paratransit. What we're announcing here is that we now accept IDNYC as a qualified form of identification for people to be able to apply for these services. usar es como una forma cualificada de identidad para poder aplicar para los programas. You have a question?
Yes, just to add something in Spanish. I'm going to get in trouble with our press team if I don't. Les doy la bienvenida a la Plaza del Inmigrante, donde estamos anunciando un nuevo programa, bueno, el uso de IDNYC, acceder a de precios reducidos para utilizar el MTA. Es una iniciativa muy importante para incrementar el acceso a este programa y el acceso a otros programas para la comunidad inmigrante que utiliza el IDNYC. Así que nos orgullece mucho estar con mis colegas del gobierno de la ciudad, con la MTA, para hacer este anuncio tan importante que le van a beneficiar a nuestras comunidades migrantes, especialmente a las comunidades migrantes recién llegadas. En la actualidad hemos estado apoyando a miles de personas a obtener el IDNYC. Ahora con este IDNYC va a poder acceder a programas de precios reducidos en el MTA. Así que otra vez, muy orgulloso de estar aquí con el equipo de IDNYC, con mis colegas y celebrar en la Plaza del Inmigrante estas nuevas iniciativas. Gracias.
Just can you remind us like the requirements to get access to this program and how the immigrants can prove these requirements, especially because some of them they don't have too many documents, especially the ones who have not applied yet to the asylum seeking program?
Jill, do you want to take that?
Yeah, thank you. We've greatly expanded the documents that we accept for IDNYC so that many of the asylum seekers that we see coming to our city are eligible with the documents that they have in hand to apply for IDNYC. And as people continue to come over the border, we continue to assess whether the documents we accept are the documents that they are coming with, and we are constantly reevaluating that because this is the point of the ID, right? It is for all New Yorkers, including those asylum seekers that are coming into New York City today.
For the three services that we offer for paratransit, that's a service for New Yorkers with a qualifying disability. That's why I said call ahead to schedule your assessment to qualify for paratransit. For reduced fare, that is a fair income level qualification. And for reduced fare, it's also based on either you are a senior, 65 or older, then you can be part of that community, or if you have a qualifying disability as well.